I would say this is personal message for me. It is a personal message for me, but it's a personal message for we. Wow, just that quick, I forgot. No, I didn't. Spiritual therapy. Been eating. My bad. Hold on. Saturn and Pisces. Sip. Everything I do now is a trip. It's going to be a synchronicity too. Don't get too caught up in it because it could be crazy for you. I'm used to doing this. I've been doing this since forever. I've had extraordinary experiences even by the age of 2, and really before that, if you know how I was born. But that's another story. But anyway, spiritual therapy. Here's the deal. You have therapists, and this is no knock on therapists because people do need therapy. But what is your level of, what's your qualifications? Because you graduated from some college or you got your master's or whatever in psychology or whatever it be. But do you know how to deal with the spirit? First, you deal with, it's the mentality. You try to deal, like for instance, with the military, you try to gauge their mental health by what you read in a book. Yeah, you haven't done what they did yourself. See, it's different when you're speaking on something that you read about and you're speaking on something from an actual perspective of knowing it because you've been there. If you never had a person killed in front of you or almost killed, if you've never had that exact experience to share, you are only speaking as an outsider. You do not know, and really you don't have the qualifications no matter what your degree says. I'm just saying, it's still a show. You're trying to engage from a book on a person's mental state, but first you need to, hit their spiritual state, because what made their spirit go stray, cray, or whatever it be? Could it be their experience? See, before you deal with the mentality, you need to deal with spirituality. This is where I'm not talking about religion, because religion, that's a part of the control. They grab you for your soul and your goal. I mean, if you know, you know. I'm not here knocking anybody's, however you learn, do you. But when it comes to me, I'm going to give you what it is, and that's my show. I'm supposed to do, I'm not going to lie. I can't afford to lie, because I know what happens if I lie. Not my type. But some of you do for your money, right? Okay, well, again, do you. But if you're really into this, as you say you are, and if you're really that smart, that enlightened or illumined or whatever it is, then you know Saturn returns don't play like that. Dark nights of the soul. Everybody's going through that one way or the other, the whole world, to a degree, because the planets are aligning up, but apparently not humanity, which gets back to spiritual therapy, which I am truly, once again, here I am on a job assignment that, had I known, it's like being an exorcist of sorts. So if I choose not to do that, I'm like, when I see that, I'm like, leave it alone. Been there, done that. I stay in my zone. That is not the job for me. Call a priest. When I see, I've dealt enough with those entities. When I've seen it and walk away, I don't go back in that, okay? Because it's time for my therapy. I've got my, white hair moment. I'm staying in my peace, period. But that's when it comes to therapy, I address your spirit, not just your mental state, not your financial state. Because people can lie through their financial state all the time. People lie through perceptions. Your perception is not the correction, and correction is not always the perception. The perception is, in reality, who are you? And you don't even know who you are, but what are you representing? You say you're representing you, but who are you? You're still learning you. So how are you going to have the nerve to say you know who somebody else is when you don't even know you? It's that. And because it made perfect sense, they're going to say, I'm correct. Okay, do that. Spirituality is a thing. Now I'm setting the narrative. Now I'm influenced. Now everybody's a spiritual therapist. But no way, you got it first on this day. Being on the 1st, too. Wow, rabbit. Okay, September 1st, 2024. Do you remember? ValJones remembers that and more. When I said I'm taking on the role as a spiritual therapist, I do not do seances, and I'm not the exorcist. We're not doing that. And so people do need therapy, but before you deal with somebody's mentality, find out where their spirit is at. What have they gone through as a child? What did they go through on that field? What did they go through in training? What did they go through in school? For real, all those things matter. But you're gonna take a half an hour or an hour of your day and a book and assess things that way. That would be a failure on a lot of levels, or a band-aid on a gash. But at certain times, certain wounds, that band-aid is not going to heal that. But hey, if you know, you know. If you don't, you'll find out. But if I can set the narrative, it's a win-win for me. But reminding you, if you're saying you're a spiritual therapist and you're not, you're going to see what karma is. That much I promise you. Now, that could be the curse that you put on yourself. Always do. You always do. Never mess with a Pisces, okay? Because if we start to mess with you, it gets to be a whole different level. Yep. Oh, she's what? I am my own label. Nobody labels me. But today I'm speaking spiritual therapy. Get your spirit right. And be honest. Remember I said earlier today, 3 questions. Which gets back to the last one, but the main one. Why do you lie? That is not necessarily a mental thing, a financial thing, or a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. I am a spiritual therapist. Now watch, everybody on YouTube now. All your dealers of bullshit is going to be that too. But reminding you, and you can't say I didn't warn you, Saturn is looking and listening to everything you do and say. You can play up in my face, but you can't play up in Saturn's face. Okay? Have a good day. That's it. Go away. Class dismissed.